Hello everyone, I'm back and today we're building a Japanese spring house, which is basically just a house a Japanese inspired house inspired by spring. Just because I feel like, I don't know, just getting the spring vibes at the moment. And I saw this little picture on Pinterest, as always, and I don't know, it's just like really, really sweet. And in my mind, I'm going for like a spring blossom covered house, which I had in my mind the whole way through. And you'll see when I start putting plants down, I start putting red plants down, which is like so random. Like I don't even know why I do that. Obviously I change them. You'll have seen from the video at the start that there's no red flowers. I don't know why I started doing that, but I quickly realised I'm going off track when I start doing that, and then I change them. I find all the pink flowers again. But yeah, really random. So yeah, I just felt like it'd be really nice to have a kind of medium-sized house. Like it's not really, really small. It's not really, really big. It's got 2 bedrooms. One of them is set up as like the master bedroom, and the other one is just kind of a spare bedroom / office, because I felt like it probably would be like just one sim or a couple would live here. Not really like a family. I don't know why. It's just kind of giving more of those vibes. So yeah, the spare room, like I said, I do put a bunk bed in there. So obviously you could have it as a children's room or whatever. But I don't know. I just felt like maybe that's practical to have a bunk bed as a spare bed, because then you could have 2 people stay. I don't know. But yeah. So, and I have to say, this is like exterior heavy video, which I know is like quite common for me, but this is like extreme. I spend so long just basically putting foliage everywhere, which I think really makes the build, because essentially it's quite a simple shape. Like it's not that exciting of a actual building, if you know what I mean. So I feel like the flowers and the trees and everything really like bring it to life, you know? But yeah, so I've gone for like, on the outside, I wanted to have all the kind of older, like the darker wood tones, because for me that feels like it makes the house feel a bit more traditional and that it was built a long time ago. And you'll see when I start going on the inside that I kind of carried on that idea, but then I quickly changed it to be much lighter. I think just because of, obviously it's like so bright in the end on the outside, it just feels like whoever lives here, it's obviously like an older house and the windows and the doors and everything are as they were, but they've completely kind of redone the inside to really freshen it up and make it all light and everything. So I don't know, it's just kind of a nice little build. I feel like it'd be a really nice little house like for your Sims to live in. And yeah, it's for the spring vibes, guys. Spring is coming. So let's just go with it. But I've had a busy couple of weeks, actually, which I started with my double party extravaganza, which I don't know if you remember me talking about, which went really well, and the cake was so cute. It was like a Garofalo inspired cake, which I know is kind of like a little niche, like I don't know how many people watching this is into that kind of stuff, but yeah, it was like a Gruffalo inspired cake, and I even made I painted like a huge Gruffalo for the children to like stick. I was kind of going for like, you know, like pin the tail on the donkey party game, but I made a big Gruffalo because he's got these like purple prickles down his back, and then I thought, oh, the children can like stick them on. And to be honest, like no kids really did it. They just kind of were like more fascinated with just like the big painting of the Gruffalo, because it was kind of like bigger than them, so I don't know, made for a nice kind of feature, you know? But yeah, and the cake turned out so much better than I thought it would. And more the flavour, like I'd made that cake once before, that recipe, and it's kind of like my new favourite recipe, like go-to when I'm making a cake now. And it's white chocolate and raspberry cake, which I know is kind of, I feel like was done a lot recently, like past few years. That's like a kind of hot flavour, you know, like one that a lot of people like. But this recipe is so good because basically the cake itself has actual fresh raspberries mixed into it, and then also like white chocolate chunks, which is interesting for a cake. And I also didn't tell anyone beforehand like what the flavour was, so it might and then after I was kind of worried, thinking that maybe if someone obviously didn't know there was like white chocolate chunks in it, they might have thought that there was like lumps of I don't know, like cake mixture that wasn't quite mixed properly, if you know what I mean, because you don't tend to come across chunks in a cake that often, do you know what I mean? More like a cookie or something would have like chocolate chips in it, whereas a cake is less common. But obviously it was literally white chocolate, so once they like bit into it, they'd know, oh, it's white chocolate. But yeah, I was like, oh, I hope people don't think there's just like lumpy. But anyway, there's like actual white chocolate chunks in it. And then what I think is the best part of the cake is that it has, the buttercream has melted white chocolate in it, which is like, it's just like next level. Like the buttercream is just so good. And yeah, that's why I just keep making it basically for every occasion. I think I'm just going to make that cake like until people get sick of it, because it's just so good. And I put like a lot on. I put a lot of buttercream on this time, more than I did last time, which I think really helps. Like, I don't know, it just makes it, because obviously cakes become dry over time. This was like not a dry cake. I mean, I made it literally the night before, so it wasn't dry at all, but I just feel like the buttercream and the jam in the middle is like just, you know, just makes it super, super nice. So yeah, that was fun, and highly recommend that flavour. I do. And then this past weekend, I've been at a hen do, which was lovely. It was super, like, I'm a super chill, casual person. Like, I don't drink or anything like that. So, like, it was a very chill event. I know, like, you know, they have varying degrees of, like, chillness, but ours was very chill. And, but I don't know how, like, so basically in the bathroom, there was like a shower, and then there was like a step to the shower, which was made of the same tile as the floor and the wall actually in the bathroom. And we basically stayed in this big house, which was really, really lovely. And actually I did think about maybe making it in The Sims, but there was, some of the layout of it was like, to me, a little bit impractical, especially considering, you know, because it slept like, I don't know, like, I think it slept like 12 people, so it was multiple bedrooms, but there was just a few quirks to it that I just felt like a bit weird, but we can talk about that in a minute. But basically, back to the bathroom, there was like a step made of the tile that was on the floor and the walls. So if you kind of weren't really concentrating, you wouldn't notice that there was a step there. Basically, it blended in. And I like just whacked my toe onto this step, like obviously by accident. And just because I just wasn't concentrating, I didn't see it. I literally was just walking past the step, like, and it just completely like whacked my toe into it. And it was like so painful, but I didn't know anyone else at this hen do apart from the bride. So I was just like trying to play it off like really cool, like really, you know, like I'm fine, it's totally fine. Just like walked it off basically. And then straight after that, we were doing an activity, sat down for a long time, like doing some painting. So yeah, we were sat for a long time, so I didn't really think anything of it, because obviously like I wasn't putting weight on my toe or anything. And then I think basically we went straight from there into a taxi to get a meal. So again, like I was just sat, still wasn't putting any weight on my foot, so I didn't really notice anything that it was like, obviously it still hurt a little bit, but I just thought it was like obviously the after effect of stubbing your toe. It's like so painful when you do that. And then it wasn't until we literally got home in the evening. So this was like a long, long time after the initial toe stub. And I was like, it was when we kind of left the restaurant, and then we were walking a bit around the city centre, and I was like, okay, my foot feels kind of weird now, and my toe is very squished in this shoe. So then when we got back to the house, I was like, I'm just going to go and check on my toe, because I'm going to take my shoes and socks off. So I went back into my room, and the person I was sharing the room with, like, they came with me, and I literally took my sock off and my toe was so swollen and it was just completely purple. Like, I don't know what I managed to do, like, because obviously, like, you stub your toe all the time, like, it's quite a common thing, isn't it? But this was just, like, next level, and I just was like, wow. And this girl was just like, I think you've broken your toe. I'm pretty sure your toe is broken. And yeah, so I think I've broken my toe, but they don't really do anything for toes, do they? Like, if you go, they're not gonna like plaster cast it or anything like that. Like, they just leave it, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not gonna like go anywhere, to be honest. Like, and it doesn't really hurt now. I've been wearing Crocs basically so that I don't stub it again, and just to like protect it from like just life, you know. But like, it doesn't really hurt anymore, and the purple is definitely going down, the swelling's definitely going down, but yeah, like, so bizarre, so random, like, so like, I just stubbed it like it was nothing. Yeah, weird, really weird. Anyway, so that was an eventful weekend. But yeah, the house we stayed in was so cool, really, really big, like, obviously designed for like a party, I suppose, you know, like, it could be any type of party. There was like multiple in the little area we stayed in. It was kind of like a little, I don't know, they were kind of like big cabins almost. They were like wood cabins. And then they were kind of all at this lake. It was really lovely. But yeah, so there was like a 30th birthday going on next door, and like another hen do, I think. So they kind of designed for that. But yeah, like, I just felt like basically it was across 3 floors, and on the first floor was like a really big living space. So a really big room where there was like loads, like a huge like U sofa, so like basically everyone could fit on there and hang out and chill. And obviously that's naturally where you're going to spend most of the time if you're in the house. And then there was basically a bedroom coming off that room, which felt a little bit strange because obviously, you know, that's probably where there's going to be like a lot of noise. And if for whatever reason someone did want to go to bed earlier, then maybe some other people that were hanging out till later, like, this feels a little bit, that wouldn't really work. And then, yeah, and then the bathroom for that bedroom was like, you'd have to walk through the living space to get to the bathroom. Like, it wasn't off the bedroom. So again, if you wanted to, like, if you were in your pajamas and you're going to the toilet or something, like, I don't know, it's just, like, obviously it doesn't, like, no one can, like, you know, that's the whole idea of it, is you're, like, all just hanging out, la da da da, so it's just, like, chill vibes. But I don't know, I just felt like that they could have, like, rearranged that a little bit better so that the bedroom and the bathroom were kind of next to each other and coming off the hallway, if you know what I mean. And then you go up to the second floor and the kitchen is above the living space, which again is strange, obviously having a kitchen upstairs, but I feel like all the living space should have been downstairs. But I think it was more for like, they wanted certain views basically from certain rooms, and yeah, there was like, the way it was facing, it meant like it'd be better off them being on top of each other, if you see what I mean. But anyway, so I don't know, I was thinking, because it'd be kind of like a fun space to have for Sims, like a kind of place where they could go, like a vacation place for lots of Sims. I don't know, I feel like we've not really got one of those. So I don't know, I was thinking about it, but I might have to change the layout because it's just, I don't know. But then maybe I shouldn't, because then I don't get the same like placement of windows and the big views and stuff. Anyway, that's for another day. But yeah, so you would see that when I first started doing the interiors, it was all very dark. The floor, the wallpapers, the stairs was all very dark woods. And then it wasn't until I got to the kitchen that I was like, no, I really do need to lighten this up, because I've really wanted to use that new kitchen cabinet we've got. Is so lovely, I think. It's so, so lovely that we got with the kind of like free update. And yeah, I was like, this is more the vibes like of this house. Like, I feel like it's very fresh. It's very like not very cluttered. A little bit like that, the way I did the bookshelves in the like living space is like really pleasing to me. It does mean though that obviously you've got 2 bookshelves, one of them's flipped. So for example, there's some like picture frames and books, which mean now the one that's flipped, like, you see the back of those things, which is a little bit strange, but only if you look closely would you notice that. And obviously there's a bit of clutter on there, so it's definitely like lived in. I wouldn't say it's like a rented house, like, or like a vacation place, if you know what I mean. It's definitely where someone lives. But yeah, it's just like nice. And I also love those Metro tiles as well. They're really fun, aren't they? The new ones we've got, because they've got all different colours. I don't know, it's nice. Nice little additions. Makes a difference, you know. But yeah, just kind of like freshened it up. And then, yeah, I don't know, it's just nice. It's a nice mix of kind of like the old and the new style, basically. Trying to keep it like a bit traditional still with some of the elements, but then also like a bit more modernised, you know? So this is the master room, which they've got the kind of big terrace that comes out over what is the lounge underneath. And I kind of just like, I don't know, like I said, just gone for lighter woods. I don't know if it like feels a bit weird, because obviously the windows and the doors that you can see in this room are darker, and that's the same for every room. And that was why I was initially quite hesitant to use lighter wood when I first started doing the interiors. But then I realised, you know what, you can't always change the windows. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can redo the inside of your house, but you might not be able to redo your windows, but that doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I think it kind of works. It's nice. And I also do this kind of like built-in wardrobe type thing, which is like, I don't know, just trying to mix it up a little bit, really. And then, yeah, so as you'll see, there is just like plants everywhere. I just feel like one, obviously, like it just is naturally like that, because obviously you've got like all the plants growing on the walls. I think that looks really nice. But also, yeah, maybe the sim does like, he loves their plants. I don't know why I feel like a girl lives here. You'll see in the video that there was a girl that was like, I don't know why, she like just walks past and then starts cloud gazing on the floor, like you do you. But I don't know, I just feel like it would be a girl that lives here. It doesn't have to be, obviously. But yeah, I just feel like they love plants, right? They want plants everywhere, and maybe they love a bit of gardening. Although this isn't gardening in the sense of like growing crops. Do you know what I mean? This is just purely like vibes, you know? Anyway, I will leave you with some screenshots and see you in the next one. Bye.